Our team of the project USU Software is happy to welcome you here. We are in the business of specialized software development. We are proud to introduce a new generation program for car services and auto parts stores. The program launches with a shortcut on the desktop. Then a login window appears. Each user can work under an individual login, which is password protected. Each employee can also have individual access rights to see information that is only within their authority area. Certain authority is configured for the car service administrator, the seller of the store, and the head of the organization. We will log in as main, as it will help us to see all the functionality of the program. To make sure that you truly enjoy working with our program, we have developed a lot of the most beautiful designs. You can choose any from the list: Summer Day, Christmas, Modern Dark Style, Saint Valentine's Day, and many other designs. For now, let's stay with the standard style of the operation system. Well, let's start with something less complicated and have a look at how the auto parts store operates. The user menu is located on the left and is as simple as possible and consists of only 3 sections: modules, directories, and reports. The work with the program starts exactly with the directories, in which you set up all the necessary configurations. You can find the list of all items in the directory nomenclature. Items can be registered manually or imported, for example, from an Excel document. The assortment can be divided into groups and subgroups. You can attach an image to every product, for example, from a file or directly from your computer web camera. You can choose what suits you best, to work with barcodes or without them. Let's switch to the modules, the main accounting blocks that operate day-to-day activities. If you choose to work with barcodes, you can sell your goods simply by scanning barcodes with special equipment. Everything is very simple. At the same time, a sales receipt will be automatically printed. This receipt is without fiscalization. If you want, it is possible to print the one with fiscalization using special equipment. Now let's imagine the situation when some spare parts are out of stock. This doesn't become a problem either. You can admit a customer's request in the mode Order Desk. It is particularly important when the store is in the car service. What do we do when submitting this request? Just select a client or add a new one. At the bottom, you list what parts and in what quantity are required. You can then print out the request form. This is all you need to know about the work in the store. It is so simple that anyone can master it. Now let's have a look at how the car service operates. A special window of the program shows clients' appointments to the service station. It can display any period of time. The schedule is made based on the working shifts of each mechanic. To book an appointment, simply click on a time option twice. In the following window, you can select the client and the service required. You find this client in the single customer database. At first, you check whether this client has already visited you, just starting to type the first letters of his or her name, telephone number, or car license plate number. There are more ways to identify your client: a club card or other personal data. If the client is not found, add him or her into the system by clicking the right mouse button and choosing the Add command. The fields that are mandatory to be filled in are marked with an asterisk. The rest is optional. You can specify various information about the vehicle itself and customer contact details. It is also possible to enter other useful information. A club card to send bonuses to your customers or to offer discounts. A category to divide your clients into certain groups: VIP, troublesome ones, corporate, and so on. an organization to work not only with individuals but also with organizations and provide them with various documents. A price list to render some client service at special prices. A reference source to see what method of advertisement works best of all. If a person who recommended your services is a client of yours, you can mark him or her in this section. After filling in the general information, click Save. The only thing left is to simply select the added client to be automatically returned to the window of booking an appointment. There is one more mandatory field to fill in. It is a service that you choose from your own price list. The service you need is easy to find, typing the first letters. You can add all the services rendered to the client afterwards. The program will automatically count the total amount to be paid. That is how easy and fast it is to work with preliminary appointment system that will help both you to use your human resources as effective as possible and your respected clients to avoid waiting in queues. The lack of such a system annoys your customers and causes you financial losses. That is why we do everything in our power to ensure that the users of our programs do not lose money because of dissatisfied customers. On the contrary, we want them to make more money. What's next? You choose a special flag symbol when the client arrives, or a cancellation when he or she fails to arrive. You can also add additional information about the client here. For example, if it is the client's first time with your car service, or if it is a warranty repair. Most car services prefer to call the clients to confirm the appointment, and thus avoiding losses of profit. A special report gives you a list of clients that need to be contacted with. This report is called notification. With it, you can either call the clients manually or send mass notifications automatically. At your disposal, there are 4 types of modern notifications: email, SMS, Viber, voice call. Oh yes, you have heard it right. Our program can call every client and remind them about an appointment, speaking on behalf of your car service. You can use this notification system for other purposes. For example, to increase your client's loyalty and the number of sales. Inform about various promotions and discounts, about accumulated bonuses, wish your clients a happy birthday, a happy new year, and other holidays. Now let's return from notifications to the appointment window. Please note that the client will be highlighted red until the payment is done. To make a payment, simply click the right mouse button and choose Current History command. You will see all the repairs done to a specific vehicle today. You can see prices to every service, which can be either fixed and inserted from the price list, or manually chosen when the exact price is not known in advance. Apart from that, there is a third option, when the price depends on the hours spent on work. If you use some spare parts when rendering the service, you can state it in a special line Materials. If you know in advance what materials will be spent for the service, you can add them in calculation to be constantly written off automatically. You can always do it manually if something is used above the norm. If some goods or materials are not included in the price of the service, you can add them into the invoice simply by marking with a special tick. The price of all materials is shown near the price of the service itself. After that, the total sum to be paid is calculated. If the client brought some of his own goods or materials, you can list them in a separate tab for the customer to see in the order form that he will not have to pay for them. In the tab Paid, there is 0 so far. Let's proceed to make payment. The program calculates everything automatically. The only thing left is to choose a payment method, cash or card. Clients usually pay in cash, that is why this method is selected by default to ensure the maximum speed of work. Our program also supports the bonus system. It is one more way to increase the sales of your car service. Clients want to get as many bonuses as they can to pay with them, and thus they spend more on your car service. Besides, it is very modern and up-to-date. From a lyrical digression, back we go to our program. You simply need to click OK. The software did everything automatically, the calculation and payment. As you can see, there is no debt indicated. The line is not highlighted with red. This means everything is alright. You can view payments made for any service in the tab Payments. Our program also supports mixed payments. For example, the client may pay partially with bonuses and partially with money. You can print the receipt after the payment to increase the customer's loyalty. He or she sees that the sum is not from nowhere. Both services and materials are listed. You can see what was paid for and for what price. You can print the receipt either on a standard A4 format or on a cash register tape. With our program, you can not only print receipts, but also easily generate many other documents. For example, delivery acceptance of vehicles. With it, you can work in two modes. You can traditionally print it and fill in manually. Or you can do it in our program to save the information in the system and get rid of piles of papers. Everything is automated to such an extent that the results of the workaround check can be marked electronically in the picture. That will be automatically included in the printed blank. Each document can have your logo and other references. Documents are signed by the client and service advisor. Next, you can also generate an order form. Here you will write all the necessary information about the car, client, services provided, materials, which the client buys or brings himself. If you want to make a separate form for specialists with no prices in it, you can use an order list. Apart from that, our all-encompassing program also has a set of accounting documents: invoice for payment, delivery note, report of completion, and tax invoice. If you mark in the client's card that he repeatedly uses your services not as a private person but on behalf of an organization, all the documents will be generated in the name of this organization. When the service is rendered, you can point it with a special mark check. If the client left the car and went away, you can inform him with an SMS. Cool car services even have the quality control. If you care about your reputation, you can mark in our program after the service is provided that the quality control is passed. That is how easy the day-to-day work of a car service can be arranged. Everything is simple and clear. At the same time, you get a perfect order in your car service and a total control of the activity in it by using our time-tested program. Now we come to the third point of the user menu: reports. Everything you do in the program is reflected in analytical reports. There are lots and lots of them. Look at the power of modern analytics that will only function to develop your business. Let's start with the most important: client analysis. The more carefully you work with your clients, the more you get from them in return. Every client is your source of finances. There's even a modern term, CRM. It stands for Customer Relationship Management. The functions of CRM are integrated in all of our programs. First of all, you can control the increase of the customer database. The more you add into the base over time, the more your income is. If the increase is far from impressive, analyze information sources in the marketing report. You will see how clients find out about you most often. Take into account this report and don't waste your money on ineffective advertising. A vivid quality parameter of your work is the number of recommendations. It is the word-of-mouth marketing, when people tell their friends about you. You can control this as well. both the number of recommendations and those who is satisfied with your service and recommended you to others. Those who were not satisfied left you. In this report, you also see negative dynamics of your car service. You can ask the clients the reasons for leaving to clearly understand what causes this, what direction of your work needs to be immediately improved. To keep track of the clients, you can form a list of those who visited you regularly and then all of a sudden stopped. Not necessarily that they relocated to another city. Work with your database. Ask your clients if everything is alright. Remind them about the scheduled maintenance service of their car, about the bonuses they have, and other information that will bring them back. Even more, the administrators can even mark in our program those who need to be reminded in the future about parts replacement or car diagnostics. The program will help to retain customers by telling the administrators about the planned work. If you have different departments, you can analyze which ones your clients ignore. For example, a customer changes oil and filters at your service but totally ignores tire fitting. Not necessarily that he uses all-season tires. Maybe he changes tires at your competitors. Give the client this service or a discount to encourage him to spend more at your car service, as it is convenient to get everything done in one place. You can see how the situation with preferences changes for all the customers at once in a separate report. Before making a gift to attract people to your departments, analyze the client activity first. If now it is a recession and the personnel are not working at full capacity, then it is high time to make such gifts. Apart from that, a separate report will show you the traffic peak for certain days and time. Present your customers with free visits only on certain not very busy days and time, to only gain from such grand gestures, not to lose. You can find the most promising clients in our database. It is a rating of those who spend in your car service the most. You need to see clearly which customers need your special attention. You can reward them and thus encourage to spend even more. And for the most fancy car services, there is a possibility to see the effectiveness of leading every client to the stage of purchase. This analytical report shows the number of clients that requested services for each day. Not everyone will come to the end. The percentage of those who came is the effectiveness of your car service. No matter how well you work with the customer database, you should still remember about your employees. They also play a huge role. Next, we will tell you how our intelligent software can help you to identify truly skillful specialists. We won't pay attention to those who simply put on air, but will be guided only by our analytical program. The first sign of a good specialist is the financial benefit he brings to the store or car service. You can see how much money every specialist earned for your company. If the employee's salary is not fixed but piece rate, the program will easily calculate it automatically. To do this, you can simply set the percentages individually for each specialist. It is even allowed to fine-tune the salary for different types of services provided. Many companies also operate by the principle earn yourself, help your colleague. For example, a client used one service. He can also be recommended to have something else repaired. At the same time, both the company gets more income and the specialist is additionally rewarded for such excellent sales rates. You can also see the dynamics of visits for every specialist. This comparative report shows the number of visitors for 1 month for a separate employee, as well as in comparison to other employees. Apart from that, a separate extensive report will show you the versatility of each specialist. You will see the scope of performing works for each specialist individually. And if some of them try to multiply tasks, don't do their work properly, and the car service needs to repair cars again under the warranty this time, you can see that by looking at a special report. There you will see such specialists and the number of such unwanted cases for each month. But the most important report is the customer retention. A client will always come back to a good specialist. Analyze the percentage of retention of each employee and find the most valuable specialists. Please note that the report will be generated with your logo and other references. All the analytics can be presented for any time period. This means that you can easily analyze one day, week, month, and even the whole year. This feature is especially useful for the most important thing that every organization must do, the financial analysis. Penny saved is a penny earned, and you need to count your money from different angles. From different angles, you also need to look at your business to clearly understand what affects your income. We have shown you what might seem at first simple work with a client, but even this is already enough to generate a great variety of different financial reports. The main one is the payments report. With its help in real time you can view balances for any cash desk and bank account, see the total turnover for the receipt and consumption of funds, check, if necessary, balances with a detailed statement. If you have a chain of subsidiaries, you can see all of them at once, but each of the subsidiaries can see only their own finances. When you have only one subsidiary that performs various works, you can see the productivity of each department. By the way, you can view this analysis both in a consolidated way as well as detailed for each day of work to see the dynamics of changes. If a client receives a service to be paid later, you will not forget about anyone. A separate register of changes will have all the debtors. The funds received can be analyzed in the context of the services provided. This report will show how many times and what service was provided, how much money you earned from it. The total sum will be lined up for each group and subgroup of services. If you bought special equipment or hired additional workers to provide a group of services, you can easily understand how much your investment pays off. A separate report will show the distribution of forces when rendering services. If something is not progressing well, turn your attention to whoever is in charge of that direction. And if you have several specialists of the same profile, this analytics will help you to compare their work performance. For example, you have opened a tire setting service. The program will show you the number of visitors for each month. If the number of sales of not particularly cheap services is falling, have a look at the overall current purchasing power in the average check report. You can also analyze in which price segment your services and goods are more accessible to people. If something is very expensive and not popular, reduce the price a little, you will win on the amount sold. Our program also shows your expenses. This helps you to have better control over them. You will see the total sum for each cost item. They will be formed monthly, which makes tracking dynamics even easier. And with information about income and expenses, the program will visually display it as a clear green and red line on the chart. It will also calculate the profit for each month of your effective work. If you organize a promotion to attract more clients, you can see in a special report whether it is an effective action or unnoticed. The manager will also have information about the bonuses received and spent. Please note that each report contains different graphs and charts. This is for greater clarity. With a carefully designed program, you don't even have to be an economist or accountant to see the big picture. Also, you don't need to spend a lot of time for analysis. Managers value every second. Often it is enough just to have a quick look at the desired report. Now let's have a look at the spare parts analysis. It can be performed both at the store and at the service station. To analyze the work with goods in a warehouse, select the Warehouse folder. Baseline report will show the balance for any date, for any department, warehouse, or just an accountable person. You can also see in monetary terms who has goods and in what amount. You can also display the sales volume for any period, both for each item and for whole groups and subgroups. The rating report will compile a list of goods on which you earn the most, and the popularity report shows those items that are in the greatest demand. And if you do not earn the most on such items, you can increase the price to benefit from such popularity. You can also see stale goods that are not sold in any way. Maybe the price is too high or customers simply do not notice it. Keep an eye on what sells well so that it does not end all of a sudden. The program can automatically remind you with pop-up notifications or in a separate registry of the products that are running out. Our accounting system takes so much care of your money that it eliminates lost profits even when a customer asks for goods that you do not order at all. What was asked for can be marked. If something is asked for frequently, why not start ordering it? When you buy the same item from different suppliers, you can import their prices, and the program itself will compare them, highlighting the most attractive offers in color. The least attractive offers from suppliers can also be easily identified by the number of returns. In this way, you don't make the same mistake and avoid ordering frequently returned goods of poor quality. And the apogee of work with goods is a computer forecast. Our intelligent system can even calculate for each item for how many days of stable, uninterrupted consumption it will be enough. The video was by no means short, but we have shown only a small part of all the possibilities available in the system, both for car services and auto parts stores. This is a set of functions that will begin to bring profit right from the first days of working in our program. Apart from that, we have additional exclusive offers for the coolest car services that want to be a whole head about their competitors. They are sure to surprise your clients. So the basic equipment of our program is available for everyone, without any exception. However, exclusive functions are not for everyone, so that will always remain exclusive. Only those who invest in their business more than others will receive much more in return than their competitors. Please note that our premium program is a complete investment in your business. For detailed information, please visit our official website USU.kz. Call or write. Find out how we can automate your organization. USU Software. Manage your business properly.